Are you trying to discover some new books? If yes, this could be a video that may help you out. Hi there, I'm Manpreet and I make book related videos on this channel. If you like books, you may consider subscribing and hit that bell button so that you get notified every time I post a new video. So in this video, I'm going to show you the books that I acquired in last 2 months. So it's my book haul. And as promised, you can discover some new books by watching this video. So let's get started. First 4 books that I'm going to show you have been bought for review purposes, and the rest of the books have either been gifted to me or bought by me. Number 1 is actually an ebook, that is The Big Switch by John Thomas. I have already reviewed this book on my channel. It's a fiction book which is about this engineer who has gotten enough of his corporate life and he wants to switch. It's his journey, whether he's able to switch, what he switches to, and what happens to him when he decides to make the switch. That is what the book is about. I have done a full review of the book, so you can check it out. I'll link it up so that you can decide whether you want to read this book or not. Second book is Intern Abroad this Summer by Aniket Singh. It's a non-fiction book written for engineering students by an IIT Madras alumni currently working at Apple in Cupertino, California. This book is all about how to land foreign internships, how to find them. Basically, this is a guide about finding and going for foreign internships while you are in college. Next book is a Hindi mythological / historical fiction called Arthala by Vivek Kumar. I do not know much about this book except for the genre, and one thing that I am currently reading this book and loving it. I think I haven't seen many Hindi books written in this genre, so I'm pretty excited to read this book and also really happy about all the guys who picked it up and who are going to be sort of buddy reading with me. If you're up for that, follow me on my Instagram and let's discuss about this book, guys. Next is the book that luckily got delivered today only, as it would have had to wait for another month to be in a book haul. But the book is Love Trumps All by Sudarshan Mahabal. The book follows 5 friends over 20 years and all the things they go through while trying to make a life for themselves, while trying to make a career for themselves, and all the world famous events that happened during that time. So it is definitely about how all those events affect their lives and their pursuits. If you're wondering about the timeline of the book, it's from 2000 to 2016, I believe. And yes, I'm really excited to read a book with so many characters because it's a challenge for the writer, and if that writer does it well, it's a brilliant book to read. So let's see if that has been done well in this book as well. Next is a big book that I added to my collection, and it's an Indian classic but not written by an Indian author, and that is Shantaram by Gregory David Roberts. This is the only book that I picked up during my stay at Jaipur. I actually do not believe buying books from book fairs and literature festivals because I find them way too expensive there. So what is Shantaram about? It's a book set in Mumbai about this person who escapes from a prison in some other country and lands up in Mumbai, and his experiences with drug mafia and all the underworld stuff. And I have heard amazing things about this book. I have heard that if you haven't read this book, you haven't read Indian literature properly. Although I do not think that makes sense, but I am really intrigued about this book, so I'm really excited to get to this one. Next is a book that was sent to me by one of you by looking at my Amazon wishlist, which is all within the description, and that is Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. Now, Bhargavi, thank you so much for sending this book to me, and I'll link her blog down below because her reviews are amazing, guys. You should check them out. And yes, this is Wonder Woman Warbringer. Now, it's a story about Wonder Woman, but a lot of people have this confusion whether it's related to the Wonder Woman movie. It's not at all. It just has this Wonder Woman character and a very new, very different story. So if you are just looking for a very strong female character, which Wonder Woman is, you can pick up this book. Next few books that I'm going to show you are gifts by a friend of mine, and one of that is The Power of Habit by Charles Dunigg. Now this proves that I do not really have friends who actually like reading or who actually watch my videos or appreciate me in any way. If you have been following me, you would have seen that this book, same book, was sitting right there in the center, and that friend still didn't know about it and sent me this book again. Now he's like, just keep it, I'll read it myself, give it to me when you meet me. But it's a very popular book about the power of habit. It's a very popular self-help book slash business book which a lot of people recommend. So if you're looking for a self-help or business book, this may be it. Next book that I got as a gift is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Now this is a Penguin classic and it's very confusing, guys. First of all, I think the book is like this much. This thickness is just explaining what this book is about. I tried reading it, but I think I should just give it a rest for some time and I'll read it later on. It's basically the notes of this emperor, I guess. It's a Roman emperor who was also a philosopher, and it's basically the collection of notes by that Roman emperor, and all those, extra material in the book is about the explanation of that stuff and how it makes sense in this world. I have heard great things about it, but right now I'm not going to read it. The next book that was gifted to me by the same friend is The Cow in the Parking Lot, A Zen Approach to Overcoming Anger by Leonard Scheff and Susan Edmiston. Again, a book which I did not like at all. I have been reading it and it's a torture. I do not really think that the person who has written this book actually understands how being angry means, because trust me, I know, my parents know, everybody around me know. That's why that friend gifted me this book, because he wanted me to learn how to control my anger. But the thing is, this book, now call me irresponsible or think of me as attacking the author, but I feel like this author conducts workshops about anger management, and I feel like he wrote this book just to add in some extra income to his world, and it's not at all worth your money. Not at all. It's so full of crap. I haven't finished reading it. If I change my views about it, you will know it in March wrap up, but otherwise. Next is a forced gift, that is a subtle art of not giving an F. It was so difficult to pronounce this because I'm usually accustomed to pronouncing this whole word, but monetization, guys. But this is a very, very, very popular best-selling self-help book right now. If you're thinking about Manpreet, what is a non-fiction self-help book which everybody is talking about these days? This is it, guys. This is it. Guys, we are down to last 2 books in this book haul, which I got in my big book box. I ordered it myself, so yes, they have been bought by me. And the first book is The Girl in the Tower by Ketherine. I have heard great things about this book. It is set in Russia. There is a person who is accused of being a witch, and there is a prince who is, I don't know, trying to do what. I haven't gotten much into the plot of this book, but I have not read it, so that's acceptable, isn't it? But I'm really excited to read this book because the hardcover, and the cover, it really makes me happy, and I'm going to read it soon. The next one is something which I find really intriguing, and it's How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. It's about this guy who has lived for hundreds of years, and he finally decides that this time he's gonna try to learn how to really live, and it's about that. I may be very wrong, because when I do a book haul, guys, I truly do not know much about the plot. This was something which came to me as a surprise, so I haven't gotten much into the plot, so it's acceptable, isn't it? Are you going to hate me for that? Anyway, guys, this is it for today's book haul. I think I have 10 books which I got in the last 2 months, which is pretty good because I already have more than 100 books that are on my shelf and have to be read. So I am really happy about my haul this time. A lot of them were gifts, which I'm really happy about. Even when I do not really like those books, I still am happy about all these books. If you ever want to gift me, if that friend is listening, I have my Amazon wish list. Okay, there are so many books in there. You do not need to experiment with me by sending me books like A Cow in the Parking Lot or Meditations. Okay. I'm such an ungrateful friend, I know. Let's just end this video because I have more videos to shoot and put up this video today only. So this is Manpreet signing off. I'll be back with another video very soon.